Uh, by all accounts, great season. I mean, it's not overstated to say that. A lot of people expected the Browns to be 500. They had a playoff win, made it to the divisional round, 5 points away from going to the conference championship. But where do you look to upgrade? What was a glaring need there? There are areas that you look at and you go, not quite there yet. What are the elements that the Browns need to add to this squad to be among the elite?
To me, it's speed, and the Chiefs exposed it. They looked slow both on offense and defense on Sunday, and those were issues that were sort of showing themselves in matchups like the Ravens. I don't think the Browns have any sort of game plan or ability to contain Lamar Jackson. And when it comes to winning football games and chasing championships, it starts with forming a roster that wins your division. They got to find a way to contain Lamar Jackson, and they got to find a way to tackle a running back on a check down on 3rd and 4 and not allow him to get a first down when he runs 4.7 speed. I think Jacob Phillips is the prototype at linebacker that the Browns are going to be looking for as we build towards the offseason and towards the draft. He made some plays this season, some splash plays, and you think of him getting sideline to sideline. That's the type of athletes they're going to need on this team. I think it's important to keep in mind that the Browns dealt with a lot of injuries this season, and really in the offseason because it was training camp when Grant Delpit got hurt. I think he had huge plans for this defense. Joe Woods having huge plans for Grant Delpit, but he wasn't there. And at the end of the day, you need more foot speed on defense if you're going to compete with teams like the Ravens or the Chiefs and even the Bengals. They've got some talented running backs that are going to have shown ability to take advantage of slower linebackers in space. And the Browns it won't be acceptable if they go into next season not upgrading speed at that position. And then offensively, we talked about missing Odell Beckham, but in general, that position of receiver and I think running back needs to just get faster. I'm not saying taking away anything from Jarvis Landry, Nick Chubb, or Kareem Hunt, but I think of a guy like JoJo Natson, I think would have had an opportunity to make some plays on Sunday just to run away from tough coverage and take a reverse or just do something fast. They just were a very straight and in-cutting team, in-breaking team. There just wasn't enough explosive plays, and that was evidence on Sunday. They got to find some speed.
And in theory, those aren't guys that usually necessarily go high in the first round either. You can find speed. It's not like you're looking for guys that put pressure on the defense to defend the entire length of the field. And then on the flip side of it, you need guys that can run and tackle in space. That was the biggest thing, and I think we saw that on the 3rd and 14 with Henne. It was like, that guy's not terribly athletic, and they didn't have anybody that could run him down.
It was a disappointing play. To me, I wrote about it all week leading up to the game. I talked about it on the show with you about how important rush lane integrity was going to be on Sunday. And whether it was Patrick Mahomes converting a 3rd and 8 in the first half or the Chad Henne run that essentially sealed the game, even though the 4th and 1 play ultimately did, but you can't let them get to 4th and 1. You had all the momentum. You had a Myles Garrett sack, and then it really goes to what they do need to improve this offseason is finding Myles Garrett another running mate, because it's not going to be Olivier Vernon coming off that Achilles injury. And Adrian Claiborne played way too many snaps on Sunday, and it was his end side that was exposed when Chad Henne took the edge and made the biggest run of his career. It's because Adrian Claiborne got way too uphill and ignored his contain responsibilities, and the Chiefs exploited it. And to me, that comes down to both speed, but also just being responsible and sharp. So when it comes to the upgrading positions, I think the first spot they're going to look at is D-line, even though we're going to stress linebacker all offseason. I think they're going to look at D-line because we've seen what Joe Woods wants to be. He wants to pressure with 4, create pressure with 4, drop 7. He did it in San Francisco. It was extremely successful because of all the talent they had up front, and now they're going to start laying the blueprint to do that here in Cleveland, I believe.